Don't forget, we have the tour coming to you. Link below. Because I'm going on tour, we made some t-shirts. Don't sue me, bro. Josh Owen says, in my area, there's not much of a spread between the mortgage with 20% down and what you can get for rent. That is an $1,800 mortgage. Maybe you'd be able to get $2,000 in rent. Seems like a big investment for only $200 of monthly cash flow, not considering the fact that now you have to manage the property and deal with it. And Josh, you are 100% correct. Some areas, the cash flow, it ain't gonna happen with 20% down. In fact, it might not even happen with 25% down. This is why when you analyze big deals or you hear the big dogs of real estate talking about cash flowing 50-unit apartment deals, ask them how much they're usually putting down. 30, 35 to 40% down. That's because that's when deals actually start cash flowing. But are you missing the point by saying, why would I invest in real estate for even a break even with 20% down? Are you missing the point that by saying, if I buy a $300,000 property that is going to have an $1,800 mortgage, that there is no benefit here simply because there is a break-even cash flow? And in my opinion, the answer is yes, you are. And here's exactly why. You see, when you control a $300,000 property and you get a mortgage against that property of 80%, that is, you put 20% down, what do you have? You are controlling $300,000 of real estate for $60,000 of an investment. 60K is controlling 300 grand. This now means that if property values increase, let's say on average 3% every single year, we'll just average out over the next 20 years, let's say. That's $9,000 per year of appreciation that you're getting on a property that you only spent $60,000 on. Now, we know that appreciation is speculative. This is why I always like talking long-run averages, but what other benefit are you getting? Well, once you factor in that, yes, you might be renting a property for a break even, what are the tenants doing for you? They're paying your loan for you. When they're paying the loan for you, and you could use the tax benefits so that you don't have to pay income tax on the fact that somebody is writing you a check, somebody is giving you rent money, and you're not paying income tax on it because you're writing off what you can write off in real estate, which we talk about what you can write off all the time in the real estate investing course. In short, it's TIMR D. You should have heard me talk about that before. Taxes, insurance, maintenance, management, utilities, reserves, if you spend them, and depreciation. Keep these things in mind. Now remember, this is not tax advice, so consult a CPA because I'm not a CPA. But what else are you getting when you have a tenant paying the mortgage? Well, in addition to locking in the potential for appreciation, you're also now locking in principal paydown. On a loan with 20% down on a $300,000 house, that's going to look like another about $345 per month, which really translates to roughly another $4,000 per year. Now all of a sudden you can have yourself a break-even property and take advantage of $9,000 in appreciation, $4,000 in principal paydown. This is the change to your net worth. And as long as you're not planning on selling the property in the near term, you get to collect this net worth and you're generating this $13,000 of net worth on just $60,000. Now, technically, we're not supposed to calculate returns on investment here because remember, when you go to sell a property, there are selling costs. Of course, you're going to have maintenance costs and management costs, but I think it's so important to recognize that there's more to real estate than simply cash flow. In many areas of the country, cash flow is the only game. But if you've watched some of my prior videos, you'll know that there are 3 parts to real estate. The 3 parts to real estate are appreciation, cash flow, and getting a good deal. Just because you don't have one of the 3 aspects doesn't mean you're getting a bad deal. If you got an excellent wedge deal, you bought a property below market value, and you're getting appreciation, and you're getting principal pay down on your loan, but you have no cash flow, it's still a good deal. Let's say you're getting a lot of cash flow, but you're not getting any appreciation, and you know what? You paid market value for the deal, you didn't get a good deal, but you're getting a lot of cash flow. Great, that's perfect. Whatever floats your boat. However you make your money in real estate is totally fine. There is no right or wrong answer. But understand the 3 most common ways to make money in real estate. Buying something below market value, getting a wedge deal. We talk about this in the real estate investment course all of the time. use spring 2019 and join me in the live streams if you don't already know about it. The second thing, appreciation. Third thing, cash flow. If you don't know these three things and you think there's only cash flow, you're missing the point of real estate investing. That brings up the second part of Josh Owens' statement when he says, plus you have to manage the property and deal with issues. When I hear comments like this, it's mostly from a reasonable place of not understanding real estate. Yes, real estate has expenses built in. This is why we set up conservative budgets to protect ourselves from the expenses of real estate. This is why we get good deals to insulate ourselves. Then when we talk about, of course, you have to deal with issues and headaches, guess what? That's called ownership. That's called control. If you want to sit on a couch and just collect passive income, then keep doing what you're doing, dreaming about passive income, watching YouTube videos talking about how easy it is to make passive income, and don't ever buy anything. Which brings up one of my favorite comments from yesterday from Paul Kelly. Funny how people are worried about losing money in real estate, yet they'll spend 60 grand on a brand new F-150 Platinum trim that will be worth $0 20 years from now. Now let's ask ourselves here, isn't Paul right? Aren't we the kind of humans to spend $1,500 on a composition notebook that happens to be an iPad? Aren't we those people that spend god-awful money on stupid headphones that come for free with our phones anyway, yet we don't want to use those because they have wires? Or, you know what? Ooh, and I wouldn't want a hard disk drive. Oh no, I gotta have a solid state GeForce, but not just one, I gotta have two, because what if I need a backup of the other one? Folks, we're such a consumerist culture. We spend and waste so much god-awful amounts of money. Of course, I just write these off as business expenses, but in the meantime, we spend so much freaking money, yet we're fearful about getting started in real estate. Isn't Paul's comment super true here? That maybe the greater issue is that we're fearful for starting, and the real concern isn't really that we're fearful of loss. And now, if you are fearful of loss, if you are fearful of starting, I highly encourage you to look to see when I will be in your city. I have 13 locations coming up, 3 still to be announced, but stay tuned, they'll be announced within the next few days. Folks, I want to meet you in person. I want to find out what your objections are. I want to find out what your concerns are, not to convince you to sell you something, but to help you get over that hurdle. Because if I can make it my life's mission to help you folks, the supporters of me on this channel, build wealth, then that is one heck of a noble journey for me.